So for the first thing I have on my list, I have food, or bait as it's called in this game. It's not that useful in this game. All it is used is to feed a hungry Goyra in level 7. But even though it can be used to attract certain enemies, it's not that useful other than the hungry Goyra. So it's not a very practical or useful item in my personal opinion. That is why it's 10. At number 9, I have the raft, which is only really useful for two different things. It's useful for getting a piece of heart that is located out on a heart container located at an opposite island, and finding your way to level 4. But that's it. You don't use the raft any other times than that. So there's no point in this item really even existing too much. Sure, it's useful for these two things, but it's not that practical. At number 8, I have the step ladder. Now this item is used to step over things like lava and water that are one block across. But it's honestly, you really need it for most of the game. I mean, there's not a whole lot of instances where you use this item. It's not a very fun one to use. At number 7, we have the flute, which is used to get into level 7 in this game. Now, it's only used for that reason and to beat one boss in the game, and other than that, it's not used at all. And this boss is surprisingly super easy whenever you fight him. After you figure out what his weak point is, it's really just a matter of hitting him a couple of times and then he's dead. I mean, you can really never take any damage. And even when he has even more health, like in different parts of level 7, it's not even much difficult. I mean, you can get away with only like losing a heart or two, which this guy's just not a very bad, evil boss, and the flute isn't utilized a whole lot in this game, which is why it makes this spot. At the number 6 spot, we have the boomerang, which you get from defeating one of these guys in level 1, I'm pretty sure. These guys, they throw boomerangs at you, and if you beat them in a certain room in a dungeon, you will receive the boomerang. Now, the boomerang is a very good item in this game, and it's useful in a lot of games. But it's just, all it does is stun enemies, and it's not really useful other than that. And later on in the game, you can get the magical boomerang, which allows it to go farther and do a little bit more of freezing distance in the game. But other than that, it's just not really something I would consider to be a very useful item in this game, because your sword can do just fine. At the beginning of The Legend of Zelda, you are just a really weak little green man. You only have 3 hearts, and you're a very, very green man. As you progress in the game, you'll collect heart containers, which are very much useful in this game because they give you more health. But later on in the game, you can get an item that will allow you to take less damage, and this is the blue ring. It takes the number 5 spot, and it's both the blue and red ring. The blue ring is $250 rupees that you can buy in a shop, and this turns you into a white man. And this allows you to take less amount of damage. Then in level 9, which is Ganon's Tower, you can receive the red ring, which allows you to take even less damage. This allows you to take only a quarter of what you take in the beginning of the game. In a cave located just one screen up and to the left, you will find a shopkeeper, and this guy will sell you the candle. Now, the candle is a very, very useful item in this game because it can allow you to burn down bushes and trees to find secrets in the game. And what's more fun than burning down trees and bushes? Absolutely nothing. It's really just a way to get a lot of money in this game, and it's not really used for anything other than that and lighting up rooms in certain dungeons. So that is why it makes this spot. At the number 3 spot, we have the bow, which is a very, very useful item in this game. It is not only able to do a lot of long-range distance, but you also don't have an arrow count. The arrow count depends on how many rupees you have. Eventually, as you progress through the game, you'll get the silver arrow, which the silver arrow is the final item that you will get in the game. The silver arrow is what is used to do the final blow to Ganon in this game, and it is very useful in that aspect. Other than that, it's not really utilized a whole lot in the game. I mean, I never really found myself using it a whole lot in my personal playthrough of the game. But other than just doing the final blow to Ganon, it's really a lot of fun to use in this game. At the number 2 spot, we have the magical rod, which is probably the item I use the most in my personal playthrough of the game. It's a lot of fun to use because it gives you the attacks of a Wizrobe, which is probably one of the most annoying enemies in this game, but you can get them back with your magical rod. Eventually, you are able to upgrade your magical rod to shoot further and have fire come out, which makes the candle pretty much useless in this game. But it is a really fun item to use, and I really enjoyed using it. And that's why it makes this spot. Now at the number 1 spot, we have probably one of the most fun items to use in this game, bombs. I mean, come on, when you just see something random in the wall and you think you might have something, you just blow it up. It's a lot of fun to use because there's so many secrets in this game, and it's one of the most unique items in the fact that you can blow up many different walls. I know I've spent thousands, probably hundreds of bombs just trying to find secrets in this game, which is why it's my favorite item in The Legend of Zelda.